Alright YouTube, so we got some quality race bait to talk about today. It's been a while since I've actually used that disclaimer intro. It's been about a month or more, I'd say. We haven't really had to sit down and talk about some shit. We got to throw up that disclaimer so your boy doesn't get flagged. So I'm assuming you probably haven't seen or heard about this yet, but there's this, Asian comedian chick. I've never fucking heard of her. She made something called the Ghost in the Shell PSA, which is it's about a week old at this point, but it's kind of getting some traction. It's pushing towards 200,000 views, which I guess is pretty good. Her channel has 96 subscribers right now, or at least last I checked. And it's kind of crazy that that's how much people are hating on this. That it has that many views, but nobody cares to fucking subscribe to her. It has I think 4,000 or 5,000 dislikes with just a mere 1,000 likes. Nobody's agreeing with her because she's fucking stupid. As we usually do here on the channel with these shorter videos, we're going to watch it in its entirety. It is only 2 minutes long, but I guarantee you it'll be the longest 2 minutes of your fucking life. I had to watch it 2 or 3 times before I actually understood what the hell was going on because it's so shittily done. But then we'll break it down afterwards in case it didn't make sense to you guys. Are you guys still awake? I know that probably took a long fucking time to get through. I apologize that I had to make you watch that, but we just needed some context. You need to understand what's happening, so let's kind of break it down now. So the tone they're trying to set here at the beginning of the video is the little Asian girl comes up into the comic book store and she sees a group of little white girls reading white female comics. They're reading Supergirl and Wonder Woman. And the idea or the tone they're trying to set is that, wow, I'm so alone. Where's the Asian comic heroes or whatever? That's the tone they're trying to set here. She's alone in this comic store. Because, little girls often go into comic book shops. That's the thing you see all the time if you go to comic book shops, is the female gender, of course. As the video progresses, she goes to the shelf and starts looking through the comics herself, but all she can seem to find is all these white female superheroes. Oh my god, they're all white. We're whitewashing our comic book shelves. It's fucking tragic. Wonder Woman and Spider-Girl and I don't know all these ones. Catwoman or something right there. I don't know what that is. Like, all she can seem to find is just the white superheroes. It's a travesty. It's a plague on the comic book society. Where's the Asian superheroes, goddammit? But then, alas, she finally stumbles across the Ghost in the Shell, I guess, comic book, or it's a manga, however you want to say it. So she finds her Asian idol, her Asian, like, comic book idol she can look up to. Finally, it's not just all white females. She has this childhood hero. Finally, she found this. Now she doesn't have to sit, feel awkward around the little white girls who look up to Supergirl and shit. Like, fuck Whitey. I got my hero now. And then we move on to the little girl growing up, and this is actually the person who made the video, and it doesn't need to be said. I mean, look at her. I mean, come the fuck on with that haircut. Definitely SJW, feminazi, something. But she stumbles across the current Ghost in the Shell movie poster, and god damn it, it's Scarlett Johansson. It's fucking whitewash Hollywood, son of a bitch. Oh, look, the little girl in her is fucking depressed and sad, and then her fucking SJW grown-up self is also depressed and sad, and she looks like she wants to take a shit right here, and then she shrugs her shoulders, and then she walks off, triggered as fuck. And movies aren't real, but they affect real people. I had never planned on making any video about the subject. This has actually been going for a while. People were upset that Scarlett Johansson was playing the main character for the Ghost in a Shell live-action movie. I never had a reason to make anything about that. It wasn't that big a deal, but this is actually growing up, like blowing up in popularity, and I thought, might as well make a video about this, because this is fucking stupid. This is supposed to, like, I guess, rile up the Asian community about this. Like, people have accepted it already. I don't even see why it's that big of a fucking deal. The main character from Ghost in a Shell, the female that she is playing, is actually like an android, so it kind of doesn't fucking matter what her race is, because she technically doesn't even have a goddamn race in the universe, or in the TV show, or the comic, or whatever the fuck it is. I used to watch the Ghost in the Shell, like on Toonami or whatever on Cartoon Network back in the day. I don't remember shit about it, but I do know, even as a very small, tiny, casual fan of this series, that she's a goddamn android. You can tell by the cover of that book that she picked up in the little fucking video that she's a fucking android. She has all these tubes and shit hooked up to her. It literally does not matter what her fucking race is. This is Motoko Kusanagi, which is the character that Scarlett Johansson is playing in the movie. And tell me, does this even look like a fucking Asian person? Maybe a little bit with like the anime eyes or whatever, you could maybe say this is an Asian person. But look at the skin color. Does this even look like a fucking Asian person? I think Scarlett Johansson is a pretty goddamn good pick for this person. She looks white to me. Like, I don't even understand. If you were to tell me this was a white character, I'd say, okay. If you told me it was an Asian character, I'd be like, oh, yeah, okay, probably, because it's an anime. And here's a picture of Scarlett Johansson from the movie, and honestly, I think she looks pretty goddamn close to the character she is playing. Honestly, like, Scarlett Johansson could pass as an Asian person, I think, with, like, the right makeup or something. Like, if we didn't already know who she was, if we didn't already know she was a big, actress and that she was actually white, I think she could pass as an Asian movie. She's kind of got, like, the eyes for it. I know that sounds racist, but you all know what the fuck I mean. And Scarlett Johansson pretty much just does, like, action movie these days. She used to do some other shit, but all I ever see her in is action movies. So I think she's a good pick for the role. She's a big actress ever since the Avengers and, like, the MCU, all that shit. She's a big-time actress. She's a good pick for this. And you're talking about this bitch walking around wearing skin-tight clothing throughout, like, the entire fucking movie. I'm on board with everything about this movie. I can't wait to see this. As we always talk about with this race bait shit, if the roles were reversed and it was a white person doing something discriminatory towards somebody of a different color or race or whatever, there would be a lot of hate. I'm glad to see that most people are against this, judging by the reaction to the video, and the fact that nobody's subscribing to her shitty fucking content on YouTube. 96 subscribers. What? I can be a bigger comedian than you, bitch. You ain't nobody. And what the fuck am I talking about? Anyways, guys, I thought we'd cover that little bit of story because it's kind of blowing up now. We haven't done some SJW shit in a long time. I thought it was finally time to dust off and hate on some feminazis or something. She's one of those. She's either a feminazi, SJW, all of them, probably a transgender person or something. There's all kinds of things wrong with this bitch. I'm sure of it. Anyways, guys, if you went on to enjoy the video, or if you're excited to see Scarlett Johansson in some more skin-tight clothing, because that literally never gets old, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, follow me on Twitter, links to my social networks are in the description, and in the outro, later.
Conclusions, all the things that we thought we were losing. I'm a ghost and you know this. That's why we broke up in the first place. 'Cause I want you to know